watching Numbskull News, and today we're back into the Big 12 versus Pac-12 versus the ACC in a universe where only those three conferences exist. We're using my point system to determine who the hell the best conference is. Now, this is week 12. It's a late video, so let's go. All right, and I think we all know Texas is number one. I think they're going to finish the year number one. There's no way anyone's catching them. 121 points. Number two is OU, barely hanging on against BYU, 69 points. Number three is Kansas State with 60 points. Coming back up, Oklahoma State, 41 at number four. At number five is Texas Tech with 20. Number six is Kansas. 7, West Virginia. 8, Iowa State. 9 is UCF with -3. 10, my beloved Horned Frogs, -15 points. Number 11 is BYU, -24. But you know what? They've had a good year, damn it. 12, Houston. They're bad, -30. But not as bad as Baylor, -56, or Cincinnati, -54. Next up is the Pac. Number 1, Washington, huge win, 148 points. Number 2 is Oregon, 118. They're on their ass. And number 3, future Big 12 team, Arizona, the Wildcats with 85 points. Let's go. Oregon State hanging on with 58 points. Utah drops to number 5, 36 points. UCLA, they're not done, 32 points. But USC is done, 22 points. Wazoo, -19. Whoa. Haves and have-nots. Here come the have-nots. Arizona State, -27. Colorado, boy, they are going fast to the cellar, -34. Cal, -35. And Stanford, -56 points. And finally, we got the ACC, in which Florida State, still undefeated, 119 points. Number 2 is Louisville with 84 points. Let's go, Louisville, 1 loss. NC State, -34. We're not in the negatives yet. We'll get there. Clemson coming back up with 31 points. UNC with 16. Duke at number 6 with 12. Georgia Tech also with 12 at number 7. 8 is Miami. And here come the negatives, -6. 9, Boston College with -8. At number 10, Virginia Tech, -13. Virginia, and who knew Virginia would be climbing? -25. Syracuse, once upon a time in the top 25, no longer, -16. Pitt, they pulled out an insane win, -27 points. Number 14, Wake Forest, -49, also once upon a time in the top 25. Those days are far behind us. And now, week 12's top 25. Number 1, we got Washington. 148. Number 2 is Texas. 3, Florida State is dropping. That's what happens when you play bullcrap schools late in the season. 4, Oregon. At number 5, Arizona. 85 points gets them in the top 5. That's 3 teams. 3 for the Pac. Good God Almighty, in the top 5. Louisville, number 6. Oklahoma, number 7. Kansas State makes the top 10 at 8. Oregon State still in the top 10. Notre Dame, 58 points is still in the top 10. Good Lord. Oklahoma State just outside of it. Here comes, and Utah, despite a loss, they're just outside the top 10. NC State at 13. 14 is UCLA. Clemson up to 15. USC falling like a rock. Texas Tech, here we go. Kansas at 18. UNC at 19. West Virginia, guess that's 20. At 21 is Georgia Tech. Look at this crap. Iowa State makes the top 25. And even more improbable, UCF, negative 3 points. That gets them in the top 25. And then you got Miami and Boston College barely scratching out a spot in the top 25. All right, well, let's break down how the week went. The Big 12 has nine schools in the top 25. That is outstanding. The Pac have 7. Keep in mind, 3 of them are in the top 5, but they got 4 in the top 10. The ACC have 8 total schools in the top 25. Only 2 in the top 10. The Big 12 have 3. And like I said, the Pac has 4. So right now, I would say the Pac still has an edge. I think they're still the number 1 conference, even though they have the least amount of teams in the top 25. And I don't think that number is going to change in the last week. The Big 12 are clearly the number 2 conference right now in this competition with 9 schools. Depending on what happens next week, could they get more schools in? Possibly. Very possible. Right now in the ACC, there's 2 teams. There's 2 teams that are having outstanding big time years. There's other schools that Duke is respectable, UNC is respectable. Let's see who else. NC State is pretty respectable. Clemson has made somewhat of a comeback to be respectable, but it's Florida State and it's Louisville, and there's no one else. The Big 12, I mean, you got Texas, you got Oklahoma, the usual suspects, but Kansas State's having a great season. Oklahoma State, if they win this weekend, they're in the Big 12 championship game. Kansas State still has a mild shot, of getting in. Tech had a hard start to the season. They're coming back. Kansas is way better than anyone thought. I mean, they're just killing it. They're killing it this year. I mean, at first it looked like the Big 12 was really down, but I'm actually kind of getting excited on where they're finishing. So one more week, and we'll see how it all ends up. Until then, bye.